to Pallegney, and it's August, and that means we've had calves. So we've got a couple of them in the shed here. We had a pretty unfavourable mix, actually. So if I go into the menu here, we had 5 bulls and 1 heifer. Not great if you're running a dairy farm, but from a feed point of view, the awesome thing is because they are with the mothers, they are sorting out their feed, so they're getting milk from the heifer cows, whatever they're called. So I'm going to leave them in there for the first month. I will then move them out into separate sheds. I'm not sure what sheds we're going to move them into, where we'll start feeding them their appropriate diet. So that's that. So I guess the rest of them are wandering around out here. There's another one there. So that's the calves. Up in the pasture, we are kind of short of grass, so the cows have eaten pretty much everything. There is a reasonable amount of food left. I have actually been supplementing it a little bit, but what I've decided is that once they've eaten this, we're going to bring the herd, I guess, down into the yard, and I'll start feeding them down in the yard just because that's logistically much easier. So they're going to stay up here for maybe another day or two, a week or two, and then we'll move them down. That will let the grass grow as well, which is obviously a good thing, because then we can maybe move them back and they can start grazing again. And then I can show you, I put the summer mix in the field I was showing you, and I also put it in the field down here that had maize in it, and we had a little bit of an accident with the seeder and ran into our grass field. But you can see after a couple of weeks of growth, it's starting to show signs of life, which is cool. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is just kind of growing. So I need to do some more skipping of time, basically, and just keep an eye on things. So I'll bring you back when there's actually something to do. Now, the third week in August, and the cows have eaten pretty much all of the food that I had up at the pasture. So we're going to move them down. I'm not going to use the little 6-animal walking trailer because that'll take ages. We're going to use the herdsman stick so we can bring them all down in one go. So that will we'll just walk up there and get the cows to walk back down with us, because that's how you herd your animals in the game, isn't it? It would be really cool if, and I do realize that actually, you know, it would be programmatically incredibly difficult to enable, but it would be kind of cool if you could do that without having to put them inside a stick. But yeah, the reality is that would be incredibly difficult to do in a video game. So yes, we're going to use the herdsman stick to allow us to walk them back. So I think that should, nope, not quite there. So we're going to need to open the gate, obviously. Hopefully, yep, it's not falling through. So if I just show you quickly, there's now, yeah, 3,000 litres of food, about 3,000 litres of water. So it seems like a good point to be doing that. There's our bull. He's going to come down with us as well. So let's try and pick that back up. Load everyone up. I don't know if we're going to be able to, yeah, it looks like we can put the whole herd in one go, which is cool. Let's not launch that across the map. This is a little bit fiddly to use, so we're going to walk back rather than run, because slow is smooth, smooth is fast, you know. And we then need to sort out feeding them. And there's still not a huge amount to do, so I've not checked to see how the warm season summer mix cover crop is growing in. Yeah, we might have a quick peek at that. I don't know. Let's just check it. We can get across the road. It's the cheese factory that seems to be making noise, I guess. Obviously, you could maybe throw this in a vehicle if you had a long way to go. But yeah, I think it's really meant for moving animals a short distance. So let's move you into there. Let's move you into there as well. So we've got plenty of space, and then we'll put that there for now. And yeah, I'm guessing suddenly we need to do a lot more feeding. So if I look at these should be okay for feed, I think. But we'll mix some feed up for them, and I'm hoping that the bull will kind of be okay if he might not get his fattening bonus. So yeah, but we're going to move out of the way of the trigger because that was a problem before. Trying to mix food in the trigger was a bad idea. If I go to from 18 months, is that right? How old? Oh, yeah, that's the jobby. So, I guess if we get... So actually, we could use some of the maize silage now because that's fermented. We need some maize silage, some grass silage. I need pasture grass silage or herb grass silage. I don't know if any of our herb grass silage is fermented yet, actually. Let's have a look. Herb grass conditioned, so it doesn't look like it. So we might need to buy a few bales of that. Stuff that down, we'll get those delivered. Bales. Silage bales. Okay, what's our other options for that feed group? If you can't tell, I've not really planned things very well. So, pasture grass, silage, herb grass silage, field. I think that might have been the one that Paul said actually he needed to change because you can't buy something for that group. So, bear with me just a moment. It turns out that out the back we had a couple of bales that fermented extra quick. And so, yeah, we have got some herb grass silage. Isn't that a bit of luck? I think actually I probably only want to put one bale in, just in case. And he says that I'm not actually sure any of the grass silage is fermented, because I think I might have used all the fermented grass silage to keep the cows topped up at the main field. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. Now, there are some complexities when you mix animals, obviously, because you potentially have different feed requirements. So, for example, we have a bull that needs really fattening feed. Well, it doesn't really, because we don't need him to have the fattening bonus. So it's maybe not so much of an issue because we're not aiming to sell him. He's there to do his thing. Do we have a silage? We do not, but we can actually buy that. So let's just throw down the 5-point silage over alfalfa. Oh, what did I say about not being very well prepared? So, clover silage. Oh, we have got clover silage, actually. We can use that from our contract that we did. I think that was clover. Might have been clover grass. I'm not sure. Let's go have a look. So, Maybe this contract we did will pay off. Is it just straight clover grass? Okay. Oh, bear with me. Bear with me, folks. Can you tell I've had a massive break of not playing the game and not doing anything Terralife related? Oh, we can use clover grass silage. Awesome. So yeah, we can use these, so it was worth us doing that contract. And I think, you know, that kind of shows that early on, there's definitely value if you've got spare time in doing contracts for different types of silage and stuff, because it's going to save you having to buy different feed-in, maybe, particularly as you don't have to wait for them to ferment. Yes, I am putting it in wrapped. Just because some of you might get a bit upset. Can I unwrap it on the forks? No. What some of you are like. Yeah. There we go. Right. So, the other thing we have to have is moisture feed and mineral feed. So, we can swap to the bucket. Okay, at least it's not going to take me like an hour to mix TMR this time. And then I think we'll do a lot of maize silage, because we've got a lot of maize silage. Yeah, I'm not sure how much beet pulp we need, but we can always just dump some of it next to the mixer. And it's been ages since I've mixed TMR on here, and you'll find that you get quicker as you do it more, and you'll get your recipe down for how you want to make it and all that kind of thing. So we're currently... we're at 7,000 litres. Jeez, okay. So we want to put in about 1,200 litres of this. Alright. And tip some of the excess out. Just so that I make my life a little bit easier. There we go. Need a bigger mixer wagon, I think. Or, again, that's why making small bales is good. Alright, let's just tuck that in. And I guess... yep, that'll do. Oh, how full is the mixer? The mix is 67% full. Okay, so we have got some space in there still. We need at least 2% mineral feed, which is going to be 240 litres of mineral feed. But I still got bags of mineral feed back here. Yep, and it was Q. So it's going to be like 5 bags of mineral feed. We can do that manually, I think. Because it's probably easier. Is that going to be the herb grass silage I was looking for? Probably. Probably is. Definitely think with a reasonable size herd, you probably want a decent size mixer. Or, as I said, making small bales is going to be a big thing. Because the smaller the bales you're making, the easier it's going to be to get all the ingredients in. Come on, in you go. How half of them went in super easy, and then you're not going in super easy. I re-grabbed it. Oh, come on. It's going to seem like massive overkill. But overkill is underrated. I'm actually gonna, yeah. I'm gonna do what you think I'm going to do. Yep, let's take one more for luck. There we go. Then we can just fill the rest of the mix up with maize silage. And, yeah, I know it's huge overkill. We have got the little shaper there, which we could have used. You almost want like a teeny tiny bucket for doing some of this stuff. From what I remember, that stuff was super heavy as well. And then we want like 3,500 litres or a bucket full of maize silage. And we'll be good. I'm pretty sure this was fermented. Yep. So let's open that up. There we go. That'll be good enough. We should start getting a decent amount of manure and stuff now with that many cows in the shed. There we go, all in the green. Moisture feed's just dropped out of the green, so we have got a little bit of space there, so hopefully we can get that back in. Should have stopped while they were all in the green. So otherwise this is going to get messy. Hopefully we've got 600 litres, so should have space to correct that. There we go. Let's stop while we're ahead. And there we go. TMR mixed. Oh. Yeah, cows fed. So if we have a peak now, hopefully everyone's got the food that they need. So heifers have got everything by the looks of it. I think the only one that won't have is our big bull. He's got pretty much everything except his concentrated fattening feed. So he might lose his fattening bonus. I'm not overly worried about that. As I said, as long as he's healthy enough to do what he needs to do come the that time of the year, will be good. Let's just check. They've got plenty of straw, plenty of food. So yeah, I think we're back to skipping some time until there's stuff to do. Well, I was going to skip time, but when I checked the map, I realised that the field grass is ready, and you might be wondering, field grass, why is he in a combine? Well, field grass, you do use a combine for. So what we do is we combine it, we get the seed, and we get a swath. So we're going to be getting a swath of semi-dry field grass, which we will then bale and get bale and wrap and make into silage. So let's get going. So this is a crop that has raised so many questions because it's grass. I think the common assumption is you're going to be mowing it. You can mow it. You don't get, I think, a particularly good yield off of it. Can't remember. But it is a crop that's intended to be combined, and you'll see that we're leaving a grass swath behind us, or semi-dry field grass swath behind us. So yeah, I thought we would have a look at this today. So what I might do is just get it combined today, because still getting back into the swing of things, and then we'll get it baled up next time to make the field grass silage, and that's going to help with one of our food groups, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I had completely missed that this crop was ready for us to harvest, and yeah, we'll be selling the field grass seeds. And yeah, so so the reason that I remember that this crop is slightly unusual, needs to be treated slightly differently, is this was in the Maize Plus horse extension in FS19, and behaves very similarly to how it behaved then. But if you didn't play that, then I guess you wouldn't be familiar with it, or if you'd forgotten, yeah, you wouldn't be familiar with how it worked. And I know people are kind of keen and hanging on for the tutorials and the wiki and stuff, but as I've said, there's an order of operations, and that order of operations is the update first, and then all of the other stuff. And also, people have busy lives and stuff happening, and people need to be in the right frame of mind to make all that stuff. So, yep. In the meantime, just experiment, you know. As I've said many times, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, something's not quite going to work okay in your video game. Yep, you're going to spend some time doing it, but you're going to learn. And if you share that with the community, you're going to add to the collective knowledge of how Terralife works. And so, yeah, you're helping. It's, I think people need to see it that way. You know? You're not wasting time. It's all positive progress for understanding how all of this works. So that's how I see it. If you don't see it that way, then maybe just don't play with it until everything perfectly exists. But if that's the case, you could be waiting quite a while. So, and look at this, the yield is pretty darn good. The other thing that I should have said right at the start, the two things that I should have said: if you want support with Terralife Plus, please use the links below for the Maize Plus Discord. Don't provide support in the comments because it's way too complicated, and don't provide support or proper support through my Discord because it's just me and a couple of my friends who understand it rather than the farming agency team. And yes, access to my Discord is still currently closed/paused because it is so. And I also don't provide support through private messages. If you send them and I don't know who you are, they just get blocked, deleted and ignored. And the other one is that when you're downloading Terralife, don't forget that you are contributing to charity through ModHub. So only download Terralife through ModHub. I'm out of practice with all these things. Yeah. But I'm going to get a couple of headlands done. Get a trailer set up for unloading the combine because the yield is better than expected. And I'll be back. Got 2 headlands done and the combine is pretty full. So I've grabbed the trailer. I'd forgotten which trailer we had. I know. So it's been a while. And I'm going to empty the combine before we get into the up-down rows. But yeah, almost feels like I'm having to re-remember most of the stuff about how and what we had on here and what we were up to. I'd completely forgotten that we even had a field of field grass, which sounds weird, apart from the fact that our cedar was full of field grass seed, and I was kind of confused by that. So I was like, why is the cedar full of field grass seed? Did I plant field grass? Obviously, I did. So, yeah. We can turn that off. We could have turned the header off on the combine. Yeah, I think we'll run along that not so straight line that I've just finished combining, and enjoy the rather lovely view down into the valley of Pallegney. Yeah. Have I mentioned I really like this map? I don't think I have. We might need to nudge that course across a bit. So we'll go with that. I know I'm wasting a little bit of the first row, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine, folks. Don't worry. And then, yeah, we're going to get the baler. We're going to bale this, and we're going to make field grass silage from it. You can pick it up with a forage wagon. You can pick it up with a... Come on. There we go. Forage harvest header. You can pick it up with a pickup header. So that's what that guy is. Yeah. So, but you have to combine it. If you mow it, you obviously get either the fresh or conditioned version, and you can't head it with the current version anyway. I'm not sure if that's intended or not, but it's not in the tedding files currently. I haven't checked with the guys to see whether that's intentional or not. As I said in the previous video, I've kind of stepped away from everything and just rejoining the world almost. It has kind of felt like that, particularly where, you know, I took a break from work and everything else, so survived the first not quite full week at work. Friday evening, and yeah, looking forward to the weekend, having done a 4-day week, which was kind of a weird week, but you know. So I need to check, but I am pretty sure this is a crop that regrows. Don't hold me to that. I will go and check, and I'll confirm in the next video. So I'm assuming that we will be refertilizing this, might mulch it. Don't know actually if it needs subsoiling. Does not. So yep, we might give it a mulch and a fertilize, and obviously it gives us another element of our cow feeding, which is kind of what all of this is about. And it's a different way of producing feed, you know, get the combine out. I think in FS19, depending on what you did, it produced a different swath, but it's been a while. So I think it might have, yeah, I can't remember, but I did dig out an old tutorial for it, but yeah, I think it produced a different swath. So anyway, in terms of everything else, growth wise, if we jump across a bunch, so basically a reasonable amount of the map is grown, but a lot of our stuff, which is waiting, so we've got sunflowers, the lupine, the carrots still to harvest. And yeah, at that point I might start reintroducing some of the old series, and we'll see what else is going on, I guess. I think I'm going to carry on combining this. I'll see you all in a bit. This is going to be the first trailer full of field grass. We're probably not going to get a second one, but we are also going to obviously get all of the swath. So this is going to go into the silo, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll be able to dip it in there. Otherwise we have an issue. Actually, it looks like it's going to be worth about £700 per 1,000 litres, which is kind of cool. Obviously, for this, it doesn't really matter, but if we were playing properly, that'd be a pretty nice bonus return, considering that we only really want the swath. So, that's, yeah, I think that's a nice little bonus. If we go in here, hopefully we can tip this into our silo. I'm not entirely sure. We're about to find out. Yes, we can. Awesome. So we've got a little bit left to harvest, and that'll be us done for today. So I wasn't expecting to do this. I'd completely forgotten that I'd planted a field of field grass. Yes, I'm going to make that joke way more than once. If you're new here, well, welcome. If you're not new here, you'll be used to it. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It's I do know, having been through the discussion with a few people about needing to combine it, that has put a few people off, I think. But I think, you know, the fact you get almost like free cash from the fact that you can sell the feed. I don't know if you can put it in a seeder. I don't think it's a seed in that sense. I think it's a, you know, more like a grain seed that you can sell than a seed that you can plant. But yeah, and this is a thing that farmers do. So you can see fairly small patch left to get combined, so I'll get that finished up and we'll have a look at what our yield was in the end. I think we have 2 very small swaths left to do, so we only have 18,000 litres in the trailer, so we're looking at what, 24, 25, 26,000 litres of field grass. It's not bad, is it? Plus the swath. So, you know, I think this is an interesting crop to play with when we get playing properly. Now, I say that, there's only so many weeks left of FS22, but who knows, maybe we'll do a little bit of FS22 Terralife Plus whilst FS25 is ramping up with mods and stuff, because, you know, this is going to be so, you know, this is so much more than the kind of gameplay we're going to get with FS25. Who knows what I'll do with content. To be honest, that's going to be somewhat dictated by you guys that watch. But let's just tip the rest of that in the trailer, run back to the farm, and quickly total up what we got. And I'm going to hang on to the combine this time because we're not far away from the sunflowers being ready. In fact, I think that might be next game week. Sunflowers, yeah, think so. And then also next game week is the planting of the Landersberg Germain, which we are going to have to play with. So, because I think that could be an interesting winter cover crop / thing to make food from. So, yeah, we'll just run this back. Actually, we had 18,500, so we've got a darn good yield off of there. quite tempted by that sheep pasture. Not necessarily to put sheep in, but just because there's a whole load of pasture grass there. But I'm kind of hoping that with the cows not in the pasture, it'll grow enough that we can then maybe put them back in for a few weeks later in the year. But anyway, while we let this tip, I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. As always, appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all awesome. Let's just have a quick peek. So yeah, 25,500 litres of field grass seed, grain, whatever you want to call it, for us to sell, plus the swath, which we will deal with next time. If you enjoyed that, click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions, stick them below. Support queries, use the links in the video description or the pinned comment. See you next time.